You can't go back. And you can never take the memory away.
It was not like a doctor's appointment. You walk in, you walk out, you forget. You walk in, you walk out, you remember for the rest of your life, and you're tormented for the rest of your life.
I will grow old, and I will never have children that will call me Mom. I will never have grandchildren that will call me Grandma. And it's gonna be lonely because of one choice.
How do you make the pain go away? They don't give you answers for that.
And what had happened was she developed horrible complications, septicemia, clostridia, DIC, where the blood will not clot. Horrible, horrible complications. Her temperature soared, her heart rate soared, she couldn't breathe, she was on full life support systems. And then they tried, about 4 hours after they discovered she was in bad shape, they tried to give her massive quantities of antibiotics, all too late, and they gave her about 27 units of blood, all too late. Well, the doctor came out several times, and one of the times he came out, he asked me, did I have any other children? And I said, no, Marla was an only child. And he got very nervous, and I begged again to see her, and he left the room again. And then he came back in again, and I asked him, does my daughter have brain damage? And he said, yes, she does at this time. And she was in a coma, and she was unresponsive. She was dying, and they weren't telling me she was dying.
The next thing I know, I have somebody taking me into the back room and telling me that Christy had some problems. They had already taken her to the hospital. I wasn't allowed to see her before they took her. I talked to the doctor. He told me that Christy had problems breathing, but they were just taking her to the hospital for observation. When I got to the hospital, I couldn't see her. They were working on her. And when I was able to see her, it just didn't look like her. She had tubes in her throat and in her nose and IVs in her arms, and she was in a coma. It didn't look like my daughter.
Yes. What I see is going on in these abortion clinics, I really get angry, especially as in Christy's case, a young woman's life has been totally ruined. Christy's brain has been severely damaged since this incident has happened, and the top portion of the brain, which is called the cerebral cortex, does not function at all. The only portion of the brain which is functioning is a small portion called the brainstem. Because of that, she is not able to walk and talk and not see. She is only able to move her eyes around and breathe. She has some awareness, but the total level of awareness as compared to a normal person is only 5 to 10%. The brain waves are absolutely flat, as they would be in a dead person. She is at a stage of life where only reflexes are present. If you put something in the mouth, she may swallow it. She does not see, she does not think, she does not feel, and she does not hear. She is at a high risk of having other complications like pneumonia or other infections and dying from them. Realistically speaking, from a medical position, she is not going to improve.
Okay, Christy, it's time for your medicine, okay? After Christy wakes up, which is anywhere between 7:30 and 8 o'clock in the morning, I prepare her medicine, which is taking all of her pills, putting them into a container, which I grind them up, getting her water and 7-Up mixture to dissolve the medication. I go in and I insert a tube into her stomach, and I use a syringe. Sometimes it's hard to get her medicine to go down the tube, so I have to use like a little plunger in the syringe to force her medications into her stomach.